The glutes. They're one of the most important muscle groups found in your whole body. Without them, you wouldn't be able to walk, run, or jump. And you would also have a serious case of flat pancake butt. Nobody wants to see a flat butt, not guys and not girls. So in today's video, I'm gonna do all the peach-loving people of the world a big favor and give you guys the 5 best exercises for a nice looking butt. And if you've been doing your squats and you've been trying your absolute best, but your glutes just don't seem to grow, give this video a chance because I'm gonna dive into specific methods you can use to target your glutes to build a nicer butt so you can fill up those jeans in no time. Let's start with the very first one that everyone knows about, and that's barbell squats. But we're not doing just regular barbell squats. The best types of squats to work your glutes are deep barbell squats. Getting down nice and low during a squat is the secret to building nicer glutes. A lot of people are afraid of going low during the squat because of the many myths that exist about how low you're allowed to go. The truth is that as long as you don't have any previous injuries to your knees and your form is correct, you can go almost all the way to the ground. This is actually something that trainers call ass to the grass squats. And going nice and low for your squats is a very natural movement for your body. I always bring up this example, but before we had toilets, we had to take a squat every single day. And that squat was naturally a deep squat. This is why deep squats are a very natural movement that our bodies have had plenty of time throughout history to adapt to. The problem is if you're not used to squatting, a deep squat feels like anything but natural. So it's important that you learn the right way to do it. And if you're not used to squatting, the best way to start is to put a seat or a platform behind you and simply stand facing a mirror and sit down and get back up. Sit down and get back up. Most people perform a very good squat when they're sitting down, but if you tell that same person to squat without a platform behind them, they'll start messing it up a little bit. After you feel comfortable enough, you can get rid of the seat or the platform and try to do regular barbell squats. You would do this by keeping your chest out towards the mirror, turning your hips out too to kind of exaggerate the arc in your back, and leaning back on your heels so you're gonna take all the pressure off your toes as you squat, keeping the pressure on your heels, and then just sit back while trying to keep your knees from crossing too far over your toes. Once you're comfortable doing that, you can try to put a really short, low platform on the ground and try to squat down and tap that platform with every rep. Now, after you feel like your form is on point, you can add the barbell into the movement and you can start to incrementally increase the weight load. Remember, the key points are to squat nice and low, stick your chest out and stick your butt out, and stay on your heels as you come down for your squats. Let's move on to the second exercise, step-ups. But once again, we're not doing regular step-ups because regular step-ups don't really target your glutes anywhere near as much as the way that I'm about to show you now. You see, normally when people are doing step-ups, they're actually working their back calf a lot more than they think. Sure, they're still going to work their quads and their hamstrings a little on that front leg to get up on top of that platform, but that back calf is taking the pressure off of that glute on the front leg. And this happens because most people will kick off for every rep when they do this exercise. So to turn this into an exercise that improves your butt, I want you to point the toes of your back foot up towards the ceiling the whole time. By pointing your toes towards the ceiling, it makes it impossible for you to kick off. So this puts all the stress and the work that's required to get your body up that platform on that front leg, and that bottom portion of going up without kicking off is gonna target the glutes big time. The one thing that you should keep in mind is since you're not kicking off, you'll probably have to do a lot less weight than what you're typically doing if you were just to do regular step-ups. Next, I want to talk about an exercise that a lot of people forget works the glutes, and that's the Romanian deadlifts. A big reason why a lot of people may not realize that this exercise works the glutes is because a lot of people do this exercise completely wrong. When you do deadlifts incorrectly, it's mostly going to be tearing up your lower back. In reality, the Romanian deadlift is not supposed to work your lower back anywhere near as much as it's supposed to work your hips because it's a hip hinging movement. When you learn how to pull and hinge your hips rather than just pulling the bar with your back, the Romanian deadlift becomes one of the most effective exercises for your butt. Start by standing in front of the bar with your feet roughly shoulder width apart. Then grip the bar right outside of your shins. Again, before lifting, you want to keep in mind that the same rules apply here. You want to keep your chest up and your hips rotated out. A good way to do this, especially for beginners, is by keeping your eyes towards the ceiling the whole time. Lift the bar up off the ground, and the idea here is that you're trying to hinge or thrust your hips forward as you bring the bar up. At the top of the movement, you could even squeeze your glutes to really help target that muscle. When you come down, you can go all the way to the ground and tap the weight on the ground for every single rep, but I found this to be better if you're purely trying to build power or strength. Instead, what I like to do to keep the pressure on the glutes is stop roughly midway down your shins before coming back up. With the Romanian deadlift, you pretty much want to keep your knees almost completely straight the whole time. And this is actually another reason why I recommend that you only go midway to your shins, because otherwise a lot of you may not be flexible enough to go all the way down without bending your knees more and turning this into more of a leg exercise. Remember, the number one key to keep in mind is that you're hinging your hips, you're not bending your back. Let's move on for the next exercise. We're going to be doing Bulgarian split squats. Once again, for this exercise to target the glutes more, you're going to want to get really low on your descent. The other thing that you're going to want to do is step as far out as you can. The closer your lead foot is to the bench, the less it's going to be working your glutes, whereas the further away it is from the bench, the more it's going to be working your glute. To set up this exercise, you could either use a platform or a bench or a chair or really anything that you could put your foot up onto. Plant one of your feet on the bench and the other foot should be a couple feet in front, planted on the floor. One of the major keys is that you don't want to allow yourself to lean too far forward. Naturally, as you add weight, your body will want to tilt slightly forward, and that's fine, but your goal should be to try to remain as vertical as possible throughout the entire exercise. To do this, it'll help a lot by focusing on keeping your chest out once again and pointed straight forward. From this position, you would just lower yourself as low as you can go and then stand back up. Balance may be an issue in the beginning, but keep practicing this exercise because once you get the balance for it, it becomes a lot easier. And this is by far one of the most effective exercises you can do for your glutes. One of the mistakes to avoid that leads to bad balance is keeping both your feet in a straight line. Instead, your feet should be hip distance apart. If you find this exercise too difficult, you can just try regular walking lunges instead. To target your glutes with regular lunges, you want to take longer strides, and once again, you want to get nice and low, so you pretty much want your back knee to tap the ground. The next exercise is one that isolates your glutes as opposed to the other compound exercises that I've been talking about. This exercise is known as the elevated shoulder glute bridge, and it's really great to throw in at the end of your workout to fully exhaust the glute muscles. Start by sitting straight up with your shoulder blades up against a bench or a platform. Use something soft such as a mat or a towel and put it on top of your pelvis. Otherwise, when you get to heavier weights, it's gonna hurt. Roll the barbell on top of the mat and plant your feet on the floor with your knees bent. Bridge up until your hips are even with your shoulder blades and then lower back down almost all the way to the floor before coming back up. You want to make sure that you select a weight that you can control the whole way up and down. Some people will try to throw the weight up by thrusting their hips really hard, and that can lead to a number of different injuries to your neck, your hips, your back. Now, if you wanted to combine these 5 exercises into one workout, you could do that. I would do it by first focusing on squats with heavy weight for 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps, not including the warm-ups. And then you could do supersets with the other 2 together, each for 3 to 4 sets. So you would do Bulgarian split squats supersetted with step-ups. That means no break in between the 2 exercises. And after 3 to 4 sets of that, you would do deadlifts supersetted with the bridges. That's it, guys. I really hope this video has helped you out. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also, if you want more instruction on how to build a nicer butt while burning fat and transforming your body in the process, try my 6-week challenge where on average my clients are losing 20 pounds or 5% of their body fat in only 42 days. You'll get a customized meal plan, a 42-day workout plan including the best leg workouts to build nicer glutes, and an accountability coach to help guide you through the entire process and to check in with you weekly to ensure that you're making progress. The best part is, as long as you don't cheat and as long as you don't quit, you can get the entire challenge for free. To find out more, you can click the link somewhere around here, or you can visit my website directly at www.gravitytransformation.com. See you guys soon. Pump it.